Hey guys, hello, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. It is day 4 of a 4-day trip and I am so eager to go home. I had a few minutes before I had to hop up and get into my uniform, so I thought I'd film a little video. It's been quite a while since I've really filmed anything. Last week I did a video about bidding. The week or two before that, I did a video about my cat, Claire, whipping me in the face with her tail. And that was it for the past month, really. So you don't know anything about what's going on. Not a lot has been going on, but I do have a little bit of a show and tell of a couple items I want to show you. And then I want to talk about briefly about what this trip has been like, this 4-day trip. Unpleasant, well, not totally. It's been a mixed bag. And then I'll touch on what next month is going to bring. So quick show and tell and a couple shout outs. One shout out because I don't know who the other person is. First, Chop Chelsea Girl sent me a postcard. I love postcards. I don't get enough of them. No one loves me. But I got a postcard from Estonia. I know. Tallinn, Estonia. Thank you so much. I got this in the mail and I giggled and giggled. I did get another postcard recently from one of my favorite places in the universe, and you know that is Treasure Island in Florida. Thank you. I did get that postcard. What else do I want to show you? Oh, this, I don't know who sent me this. So if you were the person who sent this to me, I have a sneaking suspicion I know who it was, Tracy. If it wasn't Tracy, please tell me who it was. But they sent me this coffee mug. Right now it has coffee and some hot chocolate in there. If you can't read that, it says, Progressives, Dear Cat Dad, thank you for being my dad. If some other man was my dad, I'd pee. It says something else. I don't know if YouTube wants me to say that word though. I'd pee all over his shoes, claw up his face, and go find you. Love, Buddy, Eleanor, and Claire. I literally wept. Like my eyes filled up with tears when I saw this. There was no name on the return label, just the company name. So if this was you, please, please, please let me know so I can thank you. I carry this around in my luggage all the time now. So this goes with me everywhere I go. So, a little sip. And while I don't use coffee mugs very often, I will use this on every trip now. But I was in Dallas forever. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And I went early for my showtime. I had I guess this is part of the story. So I had a 4 p.m. showtime in Dallas. Day before yesterday. I had a 4 p.m. show for Dallas. So I decided I was going to go to find the Crew Outfitters store. There's a Crew Outfitters in our Dallas airport. I was told it was near gates C26. So I got there, someone directed me down to C2, which is not where it is. But there is a store there called the Employee Store, which I have to wholeheartedly recommend. Loved it. Huge shoe selection, all sorts of odds and ends. Really heavily focused on American Airlines, but they had a lot of other airline stuff. Really cute store. Really friendly held, and I had a blast in that store. I bought a couple things. I received a $100 prepaid gift card, a debit card from my commissions from things that we sell on board. So I used that to buy a couple things. Now, you know, I don't talk about who I work for, right? I'm never going to tell you I work for a particular airline. I may have slipped once in one of my first videos. But I'm never going to tell you who I work for, and there's all sorts of reasons why. First, our social media policy really doesn't want me to tell you who I work for, and I don't want to be the face of my airline, and trust me, you don't want me to be the face of my airline. You may think I'm a nice person. Some people don't. And some of the information it give you is perfectly 100% right. I might be wrong sometimes, so trust me, I'm not the face of my airline. So when I show you these mugs, there are 3 of them. Please, this is not, I'm not saying anything about my airline, who I work for, but I had to buy these. Look at this. It's an Airbus A320. Now you recognize that's the current livery for this airline. Look at this. This is my favorite one of the 3. Look at that. This is, and in person, this aircraft is so cool looking. I thought it was very cool. Their sort of digital pattern, and then a little old school. Look at that. Isn't that cool? They go like $9 a piece. And I don't have a coffee mug collection, but I do now. I thought they were super cool. And did I show you my, yeah, I showed you the postcard, right? Estonia. That's my show and tell. I was super, super happy about the postcard. I cried about this. And I love these mugs. I hope they got home in one piece. All right, so this trip, my gosh. So the first day of this trip was just real simple, from Las Vegas to Houston, I think. I think it was Houston. Not a challenge. It was not the easiest trip. It started off really good, but near the end, actually, it got a little uncomfortable. I tried to be patient and caring in my delivery to a coworker, that something that they had said twice was just a little over the top and not well received. It was unpolished is a word I would use. And I tried to be tactful in my wow, that was just a little much. It was not received with that same tact, and it made the shuttle ride to the hotel really kind of uncomfortable. I won't say much more about that because I don't want to give more energy than is necessary to that. But I will say, if you're new to this industry, or you've been an old timer, and someone you work with says, hey, wow, that was just a little uncool, please take that, as I hope it's always meant, as care and concern. Maybe you weren't aware that you kind of stepped over a line. If I step over a line, and I'm sure I do, if I step over a line and someone tells me, I really pray that I take it as constructive criticism, and that this person wants me to be the best I can be. So I'm hoping that if anyone ever comes up to me and says, hey, Stephen, that was a little unpolished, and I do say things that are unpolished all the time, I'm sure. Sometimes it's charming, sometimes it's not. I really do hope that I take it constructively. This person did not. But the rest of the trip has been, the rest of the crews I've worked with have been fantastic. It's really been one group of people that I really get along with. The lead I have, these today and yesterday, are just top notch, really fantastic. Having a great time. But day 2 of this 4-day trip was absolutely unpleasant. When you go to your hiring event or you go to your face-to-face interview and you say, I'm flexible, I can bend with the wind, I'm like a palm tree. Girl, I hope you're telling the truth. Because day 2 was really uncomfortable. I had a 4 p.m. showtime at the airport. I'm a chaser on this month, so I'm traveling by myself between crews. And I had left for the airport a little early in order to go find these stores. Oh, did I mention? I didn't mention Crew Outfitters. So this Crew Employee store, I'm sorry, back and forth. The Crew Outfitters store that I was hoping to find, I did find, is at gate C22 in Dallas. So C22, you have to call someone to go downstairs unless you work for American. And then the Crew Employee store where I got these mugs is at C2. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. But I wanted to go to the airport early to find these stores because I've never been to one before. So I got to the airport probably around 2:15. And my show time was at 4. So, you know, I did my shopping, did my walking. And 4 o'clock, got to my gate. The flight is delayed. And it's delayed. The crew shows up because they knew it was delayed. The flight's delayed. It was delayed 3, maybe 4 times. The original show time was 4. The original scheduled takeoff was at like 5 o'clock, 4:45. And then its last, before it was canceled, its last departure was scheduled like 8:30 or 8:45 or something. It was delayed 3 or 4 times and then eventually canceled. which was frustrating because I hadn't received a phone call from crew scheduling at any point. And they're not required to when it comes to weather, because that was the problem. Denver, I guess, had an airport closure. I guess they had a shutdown or something. Crazy weather going on. So ground hold, that's what I'm looking for. And finally it was canceled. I still hadn't heard from crew scheduling. So I found the crew room in Dallas, really cool room. I saw wonderful Allie there. It was really cool. I love her. And some other crewmates, and it was nice. But there was no cell phone reception, at least for my phone. So when I went upstairs to go find something to eat, I noticed I had a phone call from crew scheduling. So I called. They deadheaded me from Dallas to Las Vegas. I won't say much about my experience with the company that I deadheaded with. It was not my own. It was a legacy carrier that they deadheaded me on, and it was a thoroughly unpleasant process. I have to say, I love my airline all the more after this experience. I did have a very nice flight attendant, but the whole experience at the gate and all was just misery. So I got to Las Vegas, and I had to run to work a leg from Las Vegas to Oakland, and that flight was delayed. So it was just, oh my God, it was awful. I was fatigued. I really hadn't done anything except walk around and wait a lot. So this was a day, it really doesn't happen often for me, but that day was just, it was fatiguing for no reason whatsoever. All I did was wait and wait and wait. And then I had to work that one leg from Las Vegas to Oakland. Thank goodness I was working with a fantastic crew with a great sense of humor and a great love for making sure everyone felt comfortable and happy. So it was good. And then yesterday was good. It was easy. We flew from Oakland. I don't even know where. Oakland. Where did we go? I don't know. Oakland, Houston, Detroit? I don't know. I'm in Detroit now. That's all I know. And today we're flying from Houston to Austin, and then Austin to Las Vegas. And I'll be home by 10 o'clock tonight. It's just been a real long 4-day. This trip, I'm away from base for about 75 hours, which is about 10 hours longer than I really like. I don't like to be away from my cats for very long. Next month, so my bid award came out for next month. Let me see what time it is. I have to get ready for work. Yeah, I have a few minutes. Next month, I did not bid for a chaser line. Now, this month, I did bid for a chaser line for this month because I had been, I really felt like an odd man out the last few months with most of my crews. There were some great people, really amazing people, and had some really nice times. And I trust them all. They're wonderful, hardworking, but there just wasn't a lot of connection between me and them. And I did feel kind of odd man out. In one instance, it was clear that I felt odd man out and third wheel, and it was just uncomfortable across the board. So I figured for this month, last month, I bid for a chaser line for June, because if I'm going to be odd man out, I might as well be a chaser, right? And I won't do this again. I'm probably never going to bid for a chaser line. Why? Because, you know, when you're working with a regular crew, you have a couple of days together and you learn their origin stories, how'd you get this job, what you do before, all those questions we all ask each other. And then you move on and you get to know each other a little bit, you have fun or you don't, and then it's over. When you're a chaser, frequently you work with so many different crews that you don't have enough time really to bond and get along. You're kind of thrown in, introduced, shuffled around, and then it all has to happen again. So it kind of feels like, I won't say it's like the dry heaves, That's the only thing that comes to mind. But it's like, get started getting to know someone, then you have to pull back. And then you get to know someone, and then you pull back. You work with some amazing people, and you work with some people who just you don't click with. If you have a chaser line in your airline, I think American calls them extras. That's the only time I know that they have. I'm not sure what they call it at Southwest, but in my airline, we call this position a chaser. I probably will not bid for a chaser line again, unless it is for like a turn line. That would be super easy. Yeah, in the future, I think I'm going to stick to regular pairings. Next month in July, I did get my schedule and I'm super excited. I'm blocked at 78.23 hours, which is not a lot. It's not a lot of hours, but I'm very happy with it. I do have one deadhead, so that increases my credit to 81.13 hours next month. I'll be away from base 291 hours and 53 minutes, which means it's a fairly good per diem amount of money. I have 5 trips, 5 4-day trips. Or no, 5. Usually if I have 4-day trips, it's usually 1 a week. But in this case, the silver lining is that none of them, I am not away from base more than 63 hours on any one trip. The first trip, I'm gone for 57 hours. The next one, 62. The next one, 58. The next trip, I'm only gone from base 49 hours. And then the next one, 63 hours away from base. And I like these trips where I'm not away from base for very long, mostly because, drumroll, yes, I want to be home with my damn cats. I miss my cats. I miss my babies. So I bid for a line where I would have the hours I need, but also where I would not be away from my cats for very long so I can spend time with them. They're all getting along really well. I'm off the next couple of days, so I hope to do I'm looking at my schedule, sorry. I'm off the next couple of days, so I do hope to make a video, visiting with the cats. And I keep saying I want to make a video about the toys and accessories and things that they really love. Share that stuff with you guys for those who are interested in my cats. And what else? I think that's about it. So if you guys have any questions, or if there are questions or things I have not touched on before, please do me a favor and leave a comment below. Or if there are things you would like me to expand upon, let me know. I have never done one type of video, and I haven't done this on purpose. But there's a video I have not made before, and that's a terminology video. Because I always think, gee, everyone has that covered. There are so many terminology videos out there. I'm thinking about doing a terminology video. So if there's a topic or a term or something you'd like me to include in that and expand upon, please let me know. Some people do terminology videos and they'll say, they'll give you a brief definition for deadhead or fairy flight. And you know me, I have a story about everything. So maybe I'll give you more information than just the bare bones definition of what a term means, but maybe how that term really applies to real life as a flight attendant. So maybe that might be my little twist on a terminology video. But until then, please do me a favor. You got it. Fly safe. I'll talk to you soon.